Hello everybody, Max Wright here, and I'm going to share with you today some of my thoughts on what I believe Bitcoin's killer app is. Now the good news is, I believe we are only weeks, maybe months away from seeing this app come to fruition, and I think it's going to be a huge boon for the entire Bitcoin ecosystem and see Bitcoin really step up to its promise of being a significant player in world finance. So let me start with some thoughts about the Bitcoin space at present. I think most Bitcoin scholars would agree that Bitcoin's real potential and where it has the biggest impact is in the developing world. There are 2 billion people in the world who are unbanked, a further 2 billion who are underbanked, and those 4 billion people represent people who are locked out of 21st century and even 20th century financial products. And it's really holding those people back. It's locking them into poverty and significant hardships. So one of Bitcoin's big promise, something that, one of the reasons that I got involved in Bitcoin, because it has the potential to revolutionize that. It has the potential to bring 21st century banking products to those 4 billion people, and from there they will be able to lift themselves up out of poverty. And that's, what more significant thing could there possibly be for Bitcoin? But we haven't seen, huge inroads in the developing world. In fact, we've seen far greater inroads for Bitcoin in the developed world. And, comparatively to the developing world, there's a lot less need for Bitcoin. So what are some of the reasons for that? Well, I would suggest that probably the primary reason for that is you have companies like BitPay and Coinbase and others which provide what we call Bitcoin merchant processing services. Now, there's a few different components to what they do, but I think one of the critical components that they do is they insulate businesses from Bitcoin's volatility. Now, it's true Bitcoin's volatility will reduce in time, but right now it is still, we can consider very volatile compared to, say, the US dollar. Or other thing, even given Swiss's recent 25% devaluation. But that statement is, as a generalization, is certainly true. Certainly from the merchant's perspective, selling a product for, say, $100 and your $100 turning into $75 the next day, not only can it obliterate all of your profit, it can send you down into actually selling products for a loss. And so companies like BitPay and Coinbase and so forth, they allow companies to accept Bitcoin. That money is immediately turned into fiat dollars, and those fiat dollars deposited into the bank accounts of those companies. So imagine the power of a Bitcoin wallet, relatively similar to what you guys are used to. You can accept Bitcoin, you can receive Bitcoin, it's got the QR codes, and it's a great merchant app. It's a great way to send and receive Bitcoin. However, there's an extra added feature in there. And that is the ability to convert some portion of your Bitcoins, either upon receipt or many other options there for the users, into some kind of stable cryptocurrency. Now, I want to be specific and clear here. We're not talking about going into a fiat currency which is going to rely on a banking system, or it's going to incur counterparty risk by definition, where somebody else is holding your fiat dollars to back up what we're talking about. We're not talking about that. Imagine a currency just like Bitcoin. It's based on the blockchain. It has no counterparty risk. Only the people with private keys can move the funds, so you're not at the whims of governments or institutions of any kind if you choose not to be. And you are completely secure in this digital currency. For all intents and purposes, it's just like Bitcoin, except that it is stable to a particular product in the real world, be it a US dollar, an ounce of gold, an ounce of silver, a barrel of oil, or whatever it is you choose to be, any other fiat currency in the world. That is the critical leap of technology that has taken place in the last 6 months. It's been tested and broadcast and used in a very specific narrow set, and it's now at a point where it's ready to be used in scale. And I think the union of this stable cryptocurrency and Bitcoin is what is going to be explosive for Bitcoin in the developing world.